Modern Mahjong's back, and we're here with a quick video, and this might surprise you. It is not always the next in line that gets Mahjong if they're calling for a tile. The rules provide that if you snooze, you lose, and there's an exception to next in line. But remember, Mahjong is a game of fun and friendship, and while you want to win, there's also etiquette involved. This is not a race to expose. Let's go over a few situations. If one or more players are calling for Mahjong, the player next in line gets the tile, unless the other player began to expose. This is the same thing about if both players were calling for an exposure. What if one player called for Mahjong and the other an exposure? The player who called Mahjong gets preference over the one that wanted it for an exposure. Let's say a player called for a prior discard and a player called Mahjong with the pick from their wall. The player calls Mahjong takes precedence overall. And what if there's a simultaneous call for a tile as a player racks their tile? The player who calls gets preference in the case of a tie. The exception to next in line getting the discard is not new, and there's a lot of discussion about it on social media. The intention of the league was not to create a race, but rather to reinforce that Mahjong is both a looking and listening game, and the next in line doesn't just always get the tile, they have to pay attention. The back of the card, however, provides a player's turn begins when they either pick or claim a tile. It doesn't say when they expose tiles from their own rack. Following best practices could prevent a player's hand from being declared dead. If player A follows best practices and first picks up a discard, if that discard was misnamed or they misheard it, they can put that discard down if they didn't yet place it on the rack, and play would continue. If they race to expose first and misheard the tile, unless they could use that discard in exposure, their hand's dead. The 2023 bulletin included a new rule that was also in the 2024 bulletin. When a player calls a discard to make an exposure or declare Mahjong, the tile must be placed on the flat part of their rack. We've confirmed with the league that there's no penalty for this, but it is a baby step towards best practices being reinforced. A seen tile should always remain seen by all players. The rule doesn't go further to require a player first puts the tile up on the rack before exposing. That's also a best practice. Perhaps in the future, the Mahjong League will require players pick or claim a discard first before exposing. Then the exception to next in line would no longer be needed. There's so much information out there. If you have any questions, ask us, whether by email, on Facebook, on Instagram, message us. Our visual companion guide for American Mahjong contains all of these rules and more, saved by ordering from the Amazon in your country. We appreciate your support of our women-owned small business and invite you to check out our website. We have a curated collection of both Mahjong and Canasta gifts and accessories. Come join us on our Facebook group and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have 3 Zooms coming up. If you play Canasta, we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary of Modern American Canasta, the complete guide. You could register on bit.ly/RSVP Canasta. Note that the links for bit.ly are case sensitive. This is taking place Sunday, March 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. Our next 2 Mahjong Zooms are April 4th and April 17th. The April 4th one is on a Thursday at 7 p.m. and it's our 2024 National Card Review with Barney Glacio. And our April 17th one, we're going to come back and Donna and I are going to go over all the things we've learned from playing with the card for a few weeks, and there'll sure to be frequently asked questions and other fun things to talk about. So we invite you to register for these, and thanks so much for listening. Hope your day is great. If you like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our page, and let's stay connected. Have a great day.